everybody, I am back. It's time for yet another stream. Now, I know if you're looking at this, it may not look that I've really sort of accomplished much with the little 6 levels I've got there, but in fact, I did actually do a bit of grinding and get all the way past 30 levels. The thing is, rather than actually work on getting spell books or do that on stream, basically just off stream, my will was weak, and I decided to actually create a set of nether armor for myself. This is just minimal cost to me. Basically, you see it cost me about 25 levels or so, just to sort of throw together, and it gives me a decent amount of protection within the nether itself. But I never spent any material in terms of gold or iron actually eating these. This is all just purely from that Skelly XP farm. So that means basically I've got a discardable set of armor I can use to toss. And this is going to be very handy for me later, because I do have plans to actually go through and build up some things in the nether. Remember, I've still got to connect another couple of portals within there, according to my plans. But because I basically did all that all that stuff within the nether itself, no point in actually sort of going through and doing all the enchanting. And I mean, no point wasting the time on the stream doing the travel and all that. I already dropped off all the arrows I needed to over at the central hub, so I think we're pretty much just good to go as is. So, with that all locked away, are we at daylight yet? Like it. Yep, we are at daylight. So, the plan for today, as the thing says, is to basically just carry on with fencing. I'm going to carry on with my white. Now, I am a little bit concerned. I don't really need that in any way, shape, or form in the short term. Glowstone, nope, don't need you. I'm a little concerned. You know, the last time I said, oh yeah, no, I don't need, you know, sort of like a too high level and all that. Well, that's true, because any sort of, what do I look for here? Drowned and all that cannot actually jump, you know, like a 1-high fence or anything like that. They don't have the ability to jump. However, all of those enemies, all of those mobs have the ability to handle 1 block level sort of inclines in that. And maybe the stained glass sort of counts as that. I'm going to have to set up a little bit of a demo to see what exactly is going up there. See if that actually sort of pans out as I expected. But other than that, let's just load up on glass and go. Blue would be nice. Oh, yes, and I did want some clear. I'm going to be going back to that specific spot. I think for now, though, I'm just going to focus on like this area right here. Technically, I can go down through here. Why not? All that time and effort, and nearly got my head handed to me. Going through and building all this. This is also a good way to check that there are no mobs are spawning underneath here. But yeah, at some point I'm going to come back and mine this out, because I'm really not happy with this 1 corridor kind of thing. You know, it feels nicer to actually have like 3 corridors latching within there, and I think I can do that while actually making my task easier on this side. You know, make it a lot easier to actually pull out and create the glass that I'm hoping for within here. Yeah, in the meantime, back to work on this. Actually, there is one easy test I can do to make sure that this works. I go back into controls, turn on auto jump. Do I just pop over the wall? That is not so good. Suggest that any zombie that comes along there could potentially make that jump. Now, at some point, I'm probably going to have to go along, lure a drowned out, and get them to try and jump over it. In the short term, not particularly one to care. I'll best to sort of carry on more of this. Although, yeah, I think I'll actually stick going with that plan right over there. That's all right. I mean, the paper was nice originally because it gave me a ton of allowed me to sort of build some maps and use that. But I've got like a ton of paper sitting over there right now. Honestly, I think right now, better off just grabbing it all. Later. Grab me diamond shovel. Natural. Like that. No block of sand left behind. I've got a lot. Out with it. Sorry about that. Just had to fiddle with something. Play this out like this. Graphical glitches with shadow. Fun. I'm gonna carry these on with one. It being that hopefully at some point I'll get some mob coming along and actually proving definitively one way or the other that yes, that's enough elevation to stop a drown from coming in, or that it's not enough and I need to expand it out. Ouch. Alright, got have to skip you again. Right. Now we're all lined up. Obviously, though, I need a little bit more in terms of torches. I know, technically it's on my list to do later, but you know. Go in there. Close enough. Do need a bunch of ice to sort of come in and replace all this. Probably should have grabbed myself a stack of ice while back over there. Last did not think of it. Well, let's just carry on completing all this. through my glass. Thank goodness I've got tons of dye left over. Should not be a problem for all the things I'm intending to build. And now you need some replacement. So alright. It's getting dark. Means we should have some drowned coming around at some point. There. Out of the glass one. Ah, and I need some garbage blocks to throw in there. That's good work there. That's fine. There we go. That. Do it. Oh, we got a few more coming down. But now, other than that open spot right there, it'd be nice and clear for me to actually sort of come back. Oh. What is this donation? Ah, nice. I have one of the last things I need to complete back at home is getting a little bit of brown glass to complete the outside of my farm area. And I've been looking for, I mean, the only real source that I can find for brown within Minecraft is due to cocoa beans, basically, within jungle biomes. And jungle biomes are tough to track down, unfortunately. So it looks like Luna, I believe, has gone to the lengths of actually getting me some cocoa beans. So, oh, well, alright. Now, how do you get rid of these suckers? Cocoa beans. Okay, I think I can use that to craft. Now, I'm not going to take them all down, just in case I'm wrong. There's probably some jungle wood, too. Log, nice. Alright. Head back, see if I'm the only one on server. Oop. Still not. Alright, well, that's right. I've got some things I can do. One would be to try and lure some nasties towards there. They can jump the fence. I can lure. Hey, Zombs. Hello, come right here. Hey, come on. Do some tests. What do you think, Zombs, huh? Get right over here. See? Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. Alright, you can totally get me. Alright, can you make it? Yep, you can easily make it. Alright, well, that tells me what I need to know. Oh, there we can, yep. I will gladly take your experience. Okay, so these all need to be doubled up, which means I'm going to need a lot more white glass. Quite doable. La 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 la. Let's head back to Sanctuary over here. And see if I can do a little bit of crafting. Right. Alright, well, thank you very much for those cocoa beans. That is awesome. So, okay, where was my dye? Over here. I don't really need, but I'm not gonna lie, it'd be a good thing to have just as something to work with in here. So, spruce what plank's doing up there? Granite up here. You guys go in there. Let's see if I can actually craft what I'm hoping for. These beams. Yep, that's fine. Most likely, it's... Yeah, look at that. A little bit of brown dye, please. Boop. Alright, and now, if I throw stuff in here... Brown dye, perfect. Okay, I'm probably going to need 16 for my collection. I'll see you over here. Alright. So... Awesome. Alright, how much brown dye am I going to take with me? I got sufficient. The rest I'll leave for public consumption. Since, most likely, people are going to want... somebody, I'm sure, is going to use a little bit of brown dye. I only need a little bit, actually, to complete my collection there. So, I think I'll take half, leave half for other people. Yeah, I gotta get rid of dirt. Dirt be gone. Stone, okay. That's sand, actually. Dirt. Alright, oh yes, and my white dye. Pot. There we go. That's a nice improvement over what I've got. I'm going to need some clear planes still, so I cannot touch these last two. But I can convert these over to white and then dye them appropriately. The question is now is whether or not I want some sort of like racing stripe to go along with it. It'd actually be kind of nice to have some light blue stained glass used for maybe actually print you to panes, grab some blue dye, and then essentially convert my go back and mine it all out, sadly. But works. We'll tell you what, we'll try a little bit of a test strip and see how it looks overall. Now, if it looks good, why the heck not? You know, let's go nuts with the light blue dye. So in the meantime, though, I am going to need probably at least another stack of that. So, oh yes, that's right. I also wanted my light blue. All right. Paint. Not a. Okay, I want... But you can also create it by converting. Alright. I want light blue, please. How many light blue can I get? Stacks. Might be a bit excessive. How much? 8 for now. There we go. Now I've got a full other stack to play with. Actually, no, I probably should convert them all, now that I think of it. Because if I do go for that, I'm going to need it. If not, I can find other uses for the light blue, so fine. Alright, no, that's not what I was trying to go for. I was trying to go for that. Thank you. Alright, you go back. Go back. Oh, wait, and you need to be pains. For you all the pains, please. Thank you. Yes. Not hearing any hurting yet. Now I can get rid of the dye for now. Suction all this in, since I am going to be eating it. Alright, and I am going to need it at some point, as well as lanterns. And I should probably spend a little bit of time organizing that later. Okay. Sit there. Sit there. Sufficient. Yeah. Tons of bone blocks. Been meeting a fair chunk of that. Problem, of course, is I also need a ton of... Oh, wait, ice, right. Grab my ice stocks. Guys, come please. Oh, I don't want packed ice. I explicitly want ice that will melt. I should have farmed a bit for Luna, too. They did want some. Alright, well, Gentle Miner, time to do your work. Alright, now that's nice and simplified. Now let's compare this every gasp is sacred. Same way every bit of sand is sacred. Okay, so stash you away. Go with light blue. You know what? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I think that looks pretty awesome. Let's do it. Right, all that. Although, actually, hang on. Where is my ice? Get rid of this sand. Dead. There, patched. At some point I am going to have to go out and collect that other stuff. And that's one of the great things about having this wall like this. I can just kind of... Nope, not seeing anything else. Alright. The fun of death. What are you doing? Oh, I must have angered him somehow. That's right. You hate me, don't you? forgot about it. Okay. I want that. Thank you. I may need that arrow. Okay, and this is being a bit silly. How many times have I actually gone through all my arrows during one of these playthroughs? I would argue 0. Alright, my memory would argue 0, I should say. Never happened. Andrew, buddy, I'm doing some work here. Kind of in the way. Look, I don't mind you helping a little bit, but picking up them blocks, not very helpful. Not gonna lie. Alright. Start land. That looks so much nicer. Okay. Let's get it grinding. And glass panes pop up. Thank goodness I made that much blue. Especially since I'm now going to need a ton of it. Around here? Somewhere. Feels like a good rhythm. Rip out the white glass. Replace it with blue. Go back and add the white glass on top of it. Near the end of this, sadly. What about the pesky Enderman, though? He's not hurting anybody, you know? Might as well leave him be. Alright. Let's head back. Farm a little ice. Oh, actually, hang on. No, I'm not supposed to. Bam. 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 Yeah, close enough. Yeah, something like that. I want to be helpful, Enderman. Either pick up all that sand that's there, or keep walking over that platform. Alright, am I the only one on server? Nope, still not. Alright, if that's the case, then either I carry on mining out this area a little bit, or I farm little ice for Luna. Well, I think I know where that's going to go. Also try and figure out what I'm going to do with my shield. Unless I seem to be... current shield seems to be on death's door. Oh, hey. Hello. Thing. Really need to boost up the AI on these mobs. Kind of silly they wouldn't have enough self-preservation to, like, oh wait, this is water. I'm gonna slow down. The other person's just gonna, you know, just totally roast over me. Dirt. Like, am I full? I'm full up on ice already. Okay. Hi, Ender buddy. Alright, let's stitch a few things then. Come on. Ring can go in here. All year round. My stone now. Alright, stash the stone in here. I'm gonna want you eventually. Perhaps water buckets, actually. Not really doing anything with water right now. Alright. Let's head back up. Farm some more. I don't think I'll ever get why there's so many Endermen around this place. Mind you, I've got a decent amount back in my place. Perhaps I should not judge. I just like good design. Alright, how am I looking? Ice, ice. Ice, ice, baby. Okay, that's not ice, but you get the point. Ice-like in some ways. About halfway through the night. Alright. Then, widen. Switch out. Ready for gentle? Come along for here. And I'm gonna want space for those torches. Alright. So, spider eye, you get. Weird. Weird. Okay. Switch out that block of iron for that one. I want you. Clear out my inventory to pick up the torch. Why not? Alright, shovel. Come to my aid, please. I need all this cobble? No. I don't even really need this torch, quite frankly. Still should have one over here, though. Okay, tell you what. Pop me a torch. Here. I could use those bricks. Gotta be careful where I end. Good news, at least, is I should be able to see quite clearly. Oh, there. And is, because I'll hit sand before long. How twitchy that thing is. Okay, so. Great. And to repair it? No. No cobble. There we go. Alright, and good. Nice thing about a 3-wide corridor too, especially since it's centered on all these blocks, is I don't have to worry about illumination. These central blocks here are going to provide more than enough to make sure it stays lit up, and thus that no mobs are going to spawn on it. Alright. Let's stash cobble. Want my soul torch. I want stone bricks. You can get. Torch, handy for emergencies. Vacuum up a little bit of this. Like I've hit my cobble limit. You're not doing much. Swap you for you. Dirt, you can ditch. Yes, I throw granite down here. Granite in there already. Wait, why do I cut the stone bricks in 2 spots? No. Stone bricks, you go back up there. You know what? Sufficient. That was a snack. Let's have a snack. Get back to it. Switch out gentle. Too much cobble. At least it's starting to get low enough that I can farm a little bit out of it. Alright. Back to it. Gotcha. Keep on going, actually. Right here? Yeah. Right to here. Seeing how much better you get at laying down bricks once you've been playing this game for what, a couple months now? In theory, I could stand on top of there, but I did have an inner buddy floating around, and oh, I don't really want to piss him off. I think that's good enough. Alright. that squid out in the back taunting me. Oh. No. I make such a grave error. There we go. Pretty good. Wow, that went fine. Did I pick those up just by going back? Yes. No glass plane left behind. No glass pane left behind. Oh, look at that. That is so much nicer. Sort of blue down below meshes in well with the blue of the ocean. I kind of like the white. It blocks your view, but not too much. Certainly fits sort of the icy theme we got going around through this ice biome. Fine. Oh, wow. Through and through the... That's nothing. And mind you, I mean, I've got tons of white with me, but because I'm basically consuming all the white, I'm ripping up all the white, just sort of throwing it on top. I'm not really sort of consuming it per se. I'm just recycling the existing stuff that's there. So it looks pretty obvious that I've got way too much white glass on me and not enough blue. I have to head back to the farm. Lay that sucker down. I also want to collect a little bit of sand too. I am just going to be desperate for glass. This entire build, as you can see, is really glass heavy. So while I was thinking actually of maybe working through the night, I should just head back. If only so then I can repopulate my blue. Although, there's no reason for me to rush back. No. Run out of blue and then go. That, I think, is a viable solution. out there? Yeah, why not? Alright, that should chew through almost all of my blue. Oh wait, haha. Got the order. Probably doesn't help either. Hang on a second. Glass, you know? No glass left. Or if an enemy dropped that there. Yep. Oh, only half of my blue. Alright. Yep, you did good. Gotta be careful I don't crush myself in the machinery either. No, not want you. Sound a bit like an enderman there. Bam. Alright. So back up to 60. Enough. That's another interesting thing too. I'm not dealing with any spawns. Looks like my attempts to light up this thing to prevent mob spawns have worked out quite well. The rain. Snow. Hello. Now look at this. Rain right there. Snow right here. Hilarious just how this physics works. Yeah, something like that. Oh, we can always pop off later to get it. Ground. Probably coming from here too. The question is, does he have a trident or no? Has a trident? I hope so. Yes. Gotta admit, I'm far less scared by ground now that I've got Depth Strider 3 than before I had it. Because I think I can basically outrun them at this point when it comes to underwater stuff. As long as, because I can't really see them all that well. As long as I don't accidentally pop into the water right where ground is. I'm not traveling particularly fast. All this out. There goes all my blue. Nope. Do that. No. Wait. Alright, well, on my way back, might as well polish off the top of this. What a ways, too. I mean, look at that. I've almost got the entire thing. Ah, there we go. Obviously, I need a little bit more work on my illumination. Osaka. Often when mobs spawn, they spawn multiples. Hard to drown somewhere under. Oh, there you are. That was you. I thought you were King of Glass. Down. Come over here. Come on. Oh, you got armor too. Bravo, sir. Alright. Can you make it over? Come on. I'm right here. All you gotta do is climb. Be able to do that. Pretty easy. Oh, you can't do it now, can you? Alright, well I guess maybe this would have been enough actually to keep around. Really though? I'm sharp though. Now, even if it would be free for me to actually go back and replace this double high two-toned glass with just, you know, the one pane I was using before. I don't want that, quite frankly. It's nice. Sure. Yeah, here we go. This is where the spawner was happening. That's okay, we'll just make the illumination things that much quicker. Then I can claim I did it in half a second. Right, I'm getting so good at Minecraft, I can just blast through these tasks in literally half a second. Surprised nobody's followed me down here yet. Especially since I seem to be so terrible at that door. Alright. Am I the only one on server? Don't know. Alright. 2 more stacks of light blue, maybe? I think that works. Well, let's have cobble. Cobble go away. That's why I don't have cobble. Alright. I know, I put those blocks in here before, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. So all the stone blocks are coming back over here now. Alright, so what's my glass thing like? Yes. White, which is great. But yes, there should Clear ones I'm not going to touch. I'm going to sort this now. Okay, 2 clear ones I don't touch. White ones I don't touch. And I should still have 1 blue stack. Okay, so might as well pop you back. Got all you? Okay. Where's my light blue die, please? My options here. Oh, so I see. No, I don't want to do that. Technically. No. You know what? No. Let's do the usual pains then. Nice solid 3 stacks. Alright, and now I'm going to take white. I want 26. No, I'm going to need back. I'm going through the die. Alright. 2 clear, and 1 of that. I need more though. Ooh. Premature removal of die. Okay, so that makes 2 stacks then of light blue. I think will be enough. And I've got a decent collection of these stacks over here. Sufficient, I think. Along with some ice for repair. Yeah, I think that'll work. Sorry if I'm not making too much sense. I'm sort of merging current plans with future plans. They like that? Necessarily care? Yeah. Right. So we return. My painfully obvious gap. Still yeah. This feels like daylight. Obviously I don't have a real good way to tell. Just based on the overall illumination levels, this feels like rain/snowstorm during the day. Under there. Gentlemen, are you all up? blast through the air. Hopefully that is enough. That changes faster out here, jeez. Up. Rest you'll figure out. Wait a minute, that's white. Why am I laying down white? People, tell me why I'm laying down white. No pain left behind. Gotta admit, it was pretty tempting to get out my sword and see if I could take a swipe at those fish there. Curious, you know? In real life, there's no way in heck I'd be able to get anywhere near the strength to actually swing a sword at fish. But this is a video game where it instantly turns from snow to clear day. Bring her home. Okay, so I really only needed one stack. More painful section. Ah. Alright, now next question. Actually, no, it's... that's right. Next up will be the tunnel, which unfortunately I'm probably going to be doing partially during night. So the question is now, do I take advantage of the fact that ground really are not going to be much of a threat to me. I'm working at night. Water. Or do I take it paranoid, switch over to something else? Honestly, I got full health. I'm not too far from retreat if I must. Why not? Why not? Alright, well in that case, bam. Semi-auto fencing is done. And now, again, I've been a bit cryptic exact about what my plan was, but I really don't like this. Too wide, too narrow. I think I explained that one already. The plan instead is to come along and move it out one. You know, as you saw, I already went down and went through here and expanded this. Now you can imagine that might be kind of annoying because now I've got to push out those blocks, but there is an alternate way to achieve this. The secret is I gotta go out. Go underwater. And now, on my plan from outside here. So, wait. Torches I don't need anymore. I need. You. There. Good. Alright. Clear. Here. Down here where it's supposed to be. Or actually white. Oh. Something like that. Oh, there's a drown coming for me. Oh. Obviously, I'm not very well protected against mobs coming from this direction, but I think it's only Zombs who would really even try. I should be safe. Provided I don't get snuck up on by ground. I don't think that's likely to happen. And lay out some weight. Pretty good. Now, go it a bit more clear up front here. Down to 2. These, I believe, are... There we go, that's looking pretty good. Now I gotta get to the other side. That's coming for me. Awesome. Alright, let's take the long way. Might be able to run to cut out some of the distance. Let's cut out some of the time, I should say. Depth starter. Gotta love it. Codes. Now, a lot of protection right here. Probably snipe a few of these guys away. There we go. Uh-oh, you're turning into drowned. I thought there was 2 that went down. There you go, now you're officially drowned. There you are. Very tough though. You can see why I'm really not all that worried, quite frankly. I'd like you to get a little bit closer to me, so I can snipe you. Well, let's find out. Zombie going. Bird though. Ooh, I made that blue, didn't I? Oh, sweet. Don't mind if I do. Alright, looks like then. I did good. Looks like I was wrong then. I wanted... No, honestly, I kind of prefer white for this portion. There is, after all, going to be a ton of... Basically, this entire ice block right here is going to be replaced with white. Above it will be that. So I don't think blue over here works as well. So, tell you what. I have now changed my mind. Will indeed be nothing but white. I've got enough to maybe lay out a bit of clear. Enough oxygen, I should say. I did not finish it. It works. Back over here. Zombie was growling, but he ain't doing much. Whatever. Got more than enough oxygen right now. Finish this off. Now look, it's so much easier to work with. Okay. There we go. That actually should finish it all off. Unless I decide to throw, like, some glass down below. I have to think about that. Short term, though. Get out of here. Hope that... Buddy does... Oh. Perfect. And now... After I, of course, touch this off... I need to pull on down, please. Now I should be able to come along, dig out all this, and it'll just work. Cross fingers. Gone, you be gone. Did not work. Why did you not work? Put one there. Over. There. Why are you... You're waterlogged. Right, well, let's just try it this way then. Oh, maybe that's the problem. I've just got... Alright, well... Tell you what. Find this out. Good news is Minecraft water is not like real water. In real life, a hole like that would just cause it to squirt out and, you know, sort of ruin everything. Not so much. Do I have any salt blocks with me? No. Alright. Let's just... in for a penny, in for a pound. Okay. Let's come back. Yeah, see, look. Water right all through there. So if I patch those, that might be enough to get it back to functional. Assuming it hasn't created new source blocks in the meantime. In which case I'll just grab a garbage block and go from there. Alright, so I need the zinc sack. My guys right here. Light blue dye, should have gotten rid of you. A ton of ice though. I want to keep that around. Well, not necessarily now. I can get rid of some of my panes. I'm all up for blue right now. I'll come back to you later. I do, however, need a ton of glass. Should keep some of these around just for repairs. Good, I don't need you. That. Patching me up a little bit of glass, please. All block. Where's the garbage? Garbage, good. Mistake in my doors. Now, eventually this door is going to go away. It's just... I need this in place now to... allow me to protect this area here, which was really poorly protected against mobs. Yeah, no, this looks like a garbage box scenario. Alright, it's created underneath it. It's actually created a bunch into there. And I think because Yeah, see, blocks can have waterlogged status. So what could simply be happening is that by placing them underwater, they got marked as waterlogged. And thus, it's like, okay, well, you're just a water source block from now on. I do not want, quite frankly. Alright, how's it up top here? Pretty much all up here. Okay, that's starting to change a bit. All super confusing, quite frankly. Yep, you are waterlogged. In fact, my cool idea to save myself some time failed. Well, I could easily patch this up with some sponges. Problem is, I don't know. I said I would call for sponges a while ago, and nobody was able to deliver. Might just be a scenario where I have to basically rip everything up and replace it. Well, am I happy? No. Is it going to take long with Depth Strider 3 and my gear? No. You know what? I'll just grind it. Your service. Turns out, though, I did not realize how blocks work. I've got some ice, I can just prepare that. Oh, about to drown. Back to full. Alright, I gotta rethink my strategy on this then. Alright, well, I mean, I was using sand before to help clear out, which is super helpful, don't get me wrong. I've got a nice stack of dirt with me, so I could also use that. Oh, I don't think I've got enough dirt to do it. this damage here. I know I took out, yeah, there's a couple of ice blocks gone now. There's. That's okay. One thing I can do while I'm waiting. I really don't like sort of look right here. Come along. Place this with ice. And yeah, this is going to chew up some of what I want to give to Luna. But, at the same time, it will get rid of this ugliness right here. And since I'm surrounded by torches and all that, this is actually going to be quite safe. And, I mean, on top of that as well, if I want to go back and retry that, I'm going to need a ton of sand. How else am I going to get sand? Grinding through all this. Nice. That's one of the best lands I've ever done. Bravo me. Well, I mean, the good news as well is, yes, this is chewing up a lot of ice, but guess what is almost ready for the round of harvesting. You're not noticing. Thank you for not noticing me. Okay, I'm chewing through my ice at a rapid clip. Weird how that works. Alright, I've also got a ton that I can harvest up there too. Go until I've basically consumed all this. And then... Oh, how many? Okay. I mean, it's easy to compensate for loss of ice for Luna. I am a little disappointed, though, that Luna did go. Not because it wasn't a great gesture. It was awesome. Thank you very, very much for that, Luna. But there are one or two minor things I actually wanted to do while out on my adventure for cocoa beans. And unfortunately, now I'm not really able to do them. Well, that's alright. I mean, I have no problems finding other ways to entertain everybody, so... All your torches? Okay. Bam. What's that? Alright. I guess I could also just follow this. Whew, got lucky there. Ah, did not get lucky there. Oh, that's terrible. Torch. I guess that's okay. Ugh, it needs a little bit more light. That I think works quite well. Tons of stacks. Not, but I'm almost out of ice. Alright, let's just do little bits. Go back and restock. Probably enough to get through that. 5. That's pretty good. Alright, let's head back and restock on ice. Let's... Was a mob just sitting right over there. Alright, how am I doing for sleep? Alright. So I'm doing a bit of harvesting. I mean, hang on, how much space do I have? Let's get rid of my snowballs anyway. Go. Gonna convert you into snow blocks. Oh, and I can convert you into a snow block. Nice. There we go. How much dirt? Especially now that I got this much sand. So, what's the plan, Stan? I guess I have to go one out. And go from there. And essentially just very carefully carve my way in. Maybe I should keep a stack of this around just... It's silly. Given that it's such a pain to work with both of these things. Shovel just tears through them all. Which, I mean, normally, yeah. Now, if you're trying to get through it and grind through it, great. If you're trying to build with it and all that, it's like, oh my god. Hesitate for just a fraction of a second too long, and suddenly... I'll take the Gutless Shield. One iron. I got tons of that back at home. I'll wait till off stream. Alright, so this is where this should go. I gotta start laying out my sand right through here. Hey, everybody. Angry? I'll have to live with it. Almost gonna die. Alright, almost gonna start taking damage. Okay, good. Yeah, how many little spammy? Looking pretty good. What about this side? This is why sometimes it pays to actually look up and study the proper mechanics of Minecraft itself. Now otherwise I'm kind of stuck doing all this. And I gotta fight against. Small ones are almost impossible. Bottom and use that to help me. That's starting to clear things out a bit. Taking so long to throw out. Have to come along and do a little. Goodness. All right. There. That's not so bad. Well, it looks like a lot of the stuff that I mined out was... Oh, here we go. Fine then. There, that'll help a bit. Alright. Now we pull out the sand. What's that? I missed one. Alright. So, glass has to go here, which means I gotta start bring sand down here. Down. Coming away. Spam and sand, spam and sand. Waited a bit too long. That's alright. Not like I took much damage. Alright, I need a lot more sand. Well, the easiest way to get a lot more sand, fill out through here and get a lot more ice. Put it this way. I gotta figure out as well. One thing I gotta figure out. I mean, the last couple of times I've come here, yes, the ice has all gone away from here, which is great, you know. But it's usually shaved away right to the very bottom. It looks almost like somebody came along with scaffold. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot along and line it all. Thank you. What? Oh, never mind. Alright, guess I'm taking the long way. Ooh. That's all gonna come out eventually. Alright. That's holding pretty well. Okay, okay. La la la. Clicking away, clicking away. Yes. All right. This stuff's all dry. Buddy up here. Do I have my stairs with me? Oh. It's alright. Are precious? Sure does not. You back up. Throwing that in there. Well, people aren't going to be able to even see that. I can use whatever filler I want for that. Still dry, perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. Back, please. Thank you. I guess people aren't going to see it. And if I change my mind, I can always come back later. Perfect. Alright, let's grab them staircases. Get a zomb. Hey. Enderman came to visit. I'm the other one left. No. Okay, stair. Okay. Alright, so. Yeah. Yeah. There. Go. Somebody's coming for me. Now for the tricky bit. I have to dig exactly one block sideways here. Nope, not good enough. That was it? Sweet. Okay. Don't mind if I do? Apparently I do mind if I do. Hang on a sec. All I can do with that. that interruption out of the way. Ever so carefully. Pop through here. Now, what should I make the floor? Like, you know, glass pans would actually be a good call down there. Do that now. No time on the stream, though. And then I can always just sort of shovel around it a little bit. Okay, well, we've got that at least, but now it is time to bubble. Now it is time to focus more on getting these things out. So, let's throw you over there. This is kind of silly. Let's get rid of some items here. Then after that, I shall call it a stream. Get at least half this done. And I'll finish the rest off stream and do a little bit of farming to contribute to Luna, and that should be it. Dirt, don't really need any more since I got sand, thank you. No block, I can ditch. Stairs, not gonna need. Money, thank you. That. Finish up mining your ore. I think that'll do. 5 free spots. How do I think? Probably gonna get a zombie to the face. Around. It is possible to path in here. Okay, I got full health. I can tank a hit or two. Oh, there you go. That's arrow. No fuss, no muss. Oh, alright, well. Oh, yeah. Oh. Is there? That can't be right. I wasn't able to lay that down. Weird or not, it works. Got somebody else coming for me. Fine, because it's about to become daylight. We're about to land in a world of hurt. Alright, if I lay this down though, this should not be waterlogged. Back a little bit. Okay, let's do a little bit of padding on here, just because I'm not sure how far back this goes. I could probably landscape from the outside. Guys, go here. Now I gotta slightly awkward digging with this. Whatever. One more. Okay. All right. At least you're stored as non-waterlogged. So if I come back and rip up the outside, it's not going to affect anything. gonna have to leave you behind. Much as I say, never leave sand behind, gonna have to do it today. I got to diamond shovel that out. Alright, well, let's do that, just so it's nice and even on both sides. And let's mine this out. Boom. Holds up pretty well. I still need to throw some... I don't have any. I'm gonna have to throw a little bit of stone in there before I start digging out. But now, I want to at least get one side done. It looks like. Alright. Got me some stone, please. Thank you very much. Alright, so. Stone. Boom. Alright. That works. Now let's go to the outside and rip it apart. Alright, you throw a torch underneath there. It'll melt everything. Alright. That in time. Oh, not good enough. Solid. Oh, hang on, aren't you? That's underneath. Yes, yeah, no, this does have to be solid. There we go. Okay, well. Like the present. It is nice to get a little bit of oxygen all in between each. There we go. Back and go a little bit here. So I can carry on one more. That is looking quite nice. I got my 2 layers plus my white right there. So, carry on. Onward! Oh. Let's polish off right here. Yeah, I've got stuff sitting right in there. Even if I'm wrong, shouldn't be too hard to actually patch that. Replace it with something that's dry. Not. See? Nice. Minecraft physics. Okay, you can see that I've sort of laid up right there. In the future, though, I would actually like to pop those out. Place them with proper blocks. Now then, let's see what it looks like from the other side. Bad. I suppose my problem, though, is that it recognizes there's water there. This being sort of a proper shader and all that, and says, okay, we're just going to make this a water surface. So it doesn't really look like water. You know what? Good enough, I think. It's really only just because of my shaders that it's kind of looking a little bit odd. Oh, we might as well end it right there. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully it was quite enjoyable for you. And it's really nice to get that fence around the ice mining area. That was great. Been meaning to do that for ages. And now the thing should be pretty safe for people to come along and mine. So I guess it's more just a matter of beautifying what's there and passive farm, I guess. There's supposed to widen the tunnel lights. So yeah, pretty much. After I finish this corridor right here, I shall go back and expand out the passive farm. All right, good enough for now. We shall be seeing you later.